I am a calculating woman. The online community often criticizes me as cunning and manipulative. Meanwhile, my husband, Liam, is a renowned and talented film star. In truth, I paid him 50,000 yuan to bring him to my side. When he was at his most desperate, I helped him out of his difficulties, in exchange for him agreeing to marry me. Later, we participated in a reality show called Couple's Journey. The production team edited the program to portray me as extremely talkative and unpleasant, leading to a public outcry online for us to break up. Many suggested a host of new, talented women were waiting for him. Everyone was eagerly anticipating some dramatic development from my side. But I had no drama to perform. I simply leaned into Liam and chuckled contentedly. They had no idea that we had signed a prenuptial agreement. If we divorced, he wouldn't receive any assets. When Liam and I arrived at the film set, the other couples were already gathered. The camera immediately turned to us, capturing the moment I walked ahead with a small bag, holding an ice cream cone. Liam, on the other hand, struggled with two large suitcases, while also carrying my wide-brimmed hat to shield me from the sun. Online comments flooded in. "Oh my God, she's eating ice cream first thing in the morning. I hope she freezes to death. Poor Liam, those two giant suitcases must be full of that wretched Diana's things." Did the producers not allow assistance, so she resorted to tormenting her husband? Seriously, why did these two even get married? Does Diana have any decency? This wasn't the first time I'd endured public ridicule. I was already infamous for my cunning and calculating nature. The mismatched relationship between Liam and me had been a hot topic for a long time. Every time we appeared on screen, there were thousands of furious comments on online forums. Everyone lamented and expressed pity for the handsome, arrogant, and aloof actor, seeing him in a difficult situation, like a pure jasmine flower trampled in a pile of cow dung. Indeed, I was that pile of cow dung their jasmine-like actor had to endure. After arranging her luggage, Sophia stood nearby, smiling brightly and greeting me. "Diana, it's been a long time since we last met." I replied with an impassive smile, "Don't say that, I didn't want to see you at all." Sophia and her partner, Arthur, were considered a model and reputable couple in the entertainment industry. They were also the focus of this season's show. However, I had no fondness for her whatsoever. The reason was that instead of getting angry at my curt reply, Sophia switched to an intimate tone and told Liam, "Liam, whenever you're free, come over for a meal. Little Fiona misses you a lot." Fiona was Sophia's cousin. Thanks to her sister's support, she landed a lead role as soon as she entered the entertainment industry. She had also discreetly expressed her feelings for Liam more than once. Liam gently rubbed his chin and replied, "Whenever Diana can arrange the time, I'll bring her to your place for a social visit." His polite yet reserved way of speaking left his opponent no room for criticism. The comments section erupted again. "Oh my God, he's truly the perfect husband. I'm so touched I could cry my eyes out. Loyalty misplaced. Liam, you're the only case where I wouldn't scold you for having a lover. Is he in debt to Diana?" Whether mentioned or not, Liam and I had a certain borrowed relationship. Around the time he graduated, Liam's family suddenly faced a crisis, needing a large sum of money immediately. I gave him 50,000 yuan from my savings to help him through that difficult period in exchange for him marrying me. After completing the marriage registration, that evening, Liam, tall and slender, stood facing me. His thin lips curved slightly and his face was somewhat pale. We looked at each other for a moment, then I asked, "Aren't you coming up?" "Up where?" "To bed with me." Liam looked stunned, surprised by my directness. That night, the flickering lights cast shifting shadows. He was as serious and focused as if writing an essay, his ears flushed red. After that night, we had no more intimate moments. That scene still occasionally appeared in my dreams. Throughout 5 years of marriage, Liam always took meticulous and thoughtful care of me. Although I was well aware he held no affection for me, I couldn't find a single thing to complain about. On the drive to the first filming location, I rested my head on Liam's shoulder and slept soundly without a care. The comments section was filled with incessant insults, directed at me from the moment I got in the car until I got out. Our first stop was a coastal city. The production team had rented several villas located right by the sea. After checking in and settling our luggage, it was already late afternoon. As soon as he stepped into the house, Liam unhesitatingly opened his suitcase and arranged his belongings. When he touched the lingerie bag, he hesitated slightly, then turned to me and said, "You handle this part." I deliberately spoke up. "We're sleeping together tonight. You'd better get used to it." Then I watched with amusement as Liam's face turned beet red up to his ears. As my laughter faded, my heart sank a little, tinged with bitterness. Despite being married for 5 years, the number of nights we truly shared a bed was very few, no more than a handful of times. If I hadn't forced him to sign the prenuptial agreement, which stipulated he would receive nothing if we divorced, Liam would have surely left me ages ago, instead of participating in this reality show and even having to share a bed with me. The main event on the first evening was a campfire party organized right on the beach, allowing the guest couples to interact and bond. The main topic of discussion was everyone's younger lives. Sophia talked endlessly about her time before becoming famous, when she was ostracized at parties and couldn't go home for Lunar New Year. The peak of her poverty was when she had only 1 million yuan, about 3 billion Vietnamese dong, in her account. She felt lucky to have Arthur's companionship during that difficult period. The comments section was in perfect sync, on one hand expressing sympathy for her and on the other praising their relationship. The camera panned to me and I frankly asked, "Is 1 million yuan considered poor?" Sophia's face immediately stiffened. The discussion went silent for about 2 seconds before lively comments resumed. "Oh my God, I've never seen 1 million yuan in my life. If Diana hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have even cared. What's there to be so sad about?" Noticing the awkward atmosphere, Liam silently continued the story. "Back then, Diana and I pooled our money to open a street food stall in the night market." Nina, who was sitting opposite, suddenly widened her eyes. "Really?" "Yes." He picked up a log and poked the glowing embers. In the flickering firelight, his angular face suddenly softened and became gentle. "We had just graduated then, with countless expenses, but our salaries were negligible. Every evening, she and I would set up 2 stalls at the night market, specializing in hand-painted t-shirts and stewed fish cakes. Once, to avoid the sanitation inspectors, Diana hastily pushed the cart and ran ahead. Unfortunately, hot water splashed and scalded both her arms. All eyes turned to me. I lifted a beer can to cover half my face, smiling faintly. Actually, when business was slow, I often secretly ate a lot too. The comments section was filled with skeptical emojis. With Diana's frail appearance, how could she endure such hardship? "It's another act." I don't know why, but I have a feeling Liam is trying to build her image. After more than 2 hours of conversation, everyone's relationships had become much closer and more connected. By the second day of filming, things seemed to unfold more naturally. Liam quickly and skillfully prepared breakfast, then woke me up. When I went downstairs, passing the scale, I stepped on it to check my weight. Oh my God, I've gained 2 kilograms. Feeling as if struck by lightning, I immediately recounted everything I had eaten in the past 3 days, and concluded that the ice cream cone from yesterday morning was the culprit. Liam called out, "The noodles and omelets are getting cold. I don't want to eat anymore." My heart was filled with anxiety. Sophia advised me, "Diana, you should at least eat something. Liam woke up early to prepare this meal for you. Besides, you're not an actress, so why worry so much about your weight?" I looked at her plate, which contained only a few vegetable stalks, and wondered, "You say you're not sensitive, so why are you only eating a bit of vegetables?" The comments on the screen vied to praise her. "Oh my God, Sophia is both beautiful and kind-hearted, caring for others. She's truly a role model for modern women." Sophia only had good intentions when she offered advice. Why is Diana acting like that? Haha, sure enough, it wouldn't be Diana if she didn't cause trouble. Liam handed me a glass of milk, saying, "Just eat. You're not fat. The scale must be broken." I was still skeptical. Really? Really? I weighed myself this morning, and it was 3 kilograms heavier than when I weighed myself at home. Fortunately, Liam had never lied before. Hearing him say that, I secretly recalculated and realized I had actually lost 2 kilograms. Therefore, I was overjoyed and began to enjoy my delicious meal. Not only did I finish my portion, but I also stole half an omelet from Liam's plate. He picked up the remaining half and placed it in my bowl, saying, "Eat more, you've gotten so thin from not eating. We still have a lot of traveling to do today." The comments section became lively once again. Did anyone check? Liam hasn't stepped on the scale since this morning's broadcast. He'll make up anything to coax his wife. The scale, is anyone going to defend me? After breakfast, everyone packed up and moved to the amusement park. The production team had arranged fairly simple tasks, and points would be calculated based on the attractiveness of each game. The couple with the highest score would receive an exciting surprise. The deafening screams from the roller coaster made my legs feel weak with fear. As soon as I turned, I saw Nina eagerly wanting to participate. "Diana, let's go play." "No." Liam quickly grabbed my hand and turned to the director. "Is it necessary for two people to participate?" "Yes," he replied reluctantly, then turned to me and said, "I'm sorry, I thought I could just play 2 rounds by myself." "Oh my God, it's just a roller coaster. Why be so scared?" This time, an unexpected voice spoke up in protest. "It's normal for someone with a weak disposition to be afraid of these rides." Nina and her husband headed towards the roller coaster's starting point, while Sophia and Arthur queued for the haunted house. I tightly gripped Liam's hand, deliberating back and forth, and finally chose the flower-themed Ferris wheel. Although it had some up and down movements and moved back and forth, its speed and height were very modest. The sign clearly stated it was for children aged 6 to 14. The comments section immediately filled with continuous laughter. I was still a little hesitant, so I tried touching the ground with my feet. "Is this really okay?" Liam tried to suppress his laughter and said, "Let's play this one." His tall figure looked rather pathetic squeezed into the children's flower-shaped car. However, something unexpected happened. Before the car even started moving, I suddenly stood up, quickly jumped out of the car and ran straight to the barrier, putting my hands on it and quickly scaling out. As soon as I landed, the Ferris wheel began to move. Amidst the cheerful children's music, the light pink flowers bobbed up and down. Liam sat motionless in the middle with a blank expression. I clung tightly to the railing, my voice trembling as I uttered, "I'm still so scared." The comments on the screen suddenly went wild. "She's even scared of a children's game. It seems she's overacting." "No way. That escape looked too skilled and practiced, as if she's used to running away many times." Isn't anyone paying attention to Liam's stunned face? I can't help but laugh. When the children's song, "Who asks you which school do you go to?" ended, Liam impassively stepped out of the flower car. I bowed my head and whispered, "I'm sorry." He took a deep breath, then took my handbag from my hand, put it on his shoulder and said, "Let's go, we'll play the carousel." Liam and I rode the carousel a few times, then went to the lake to pedal a duck boat, then rode a tiny train, and finally stopped at the square to feed the pigeons. The comments section continued to scroll endlessly. "So, this trip has turned into a senior wellness retreat, ladies." Diana cried hilariously when the pigeons pecked her. It seems Liam no longer cares about winning or losing. Nothing surprising there. As expected, our team came in last, while Sophia's team won. The director, with a knowing look, announced, "Later, when you return to the villa, you'll receive a pleasant surprise." And indeed, as soon as we arrived at the villa and the door opened, a person rushed out, happily looking at Sophia and calling out loudly, "Sister!" Her signature brown curly hair, a blue dress paired with leather shoes, and natural, light makeup. Her eyes, however, held a hidden hostility when directed at me. So, Fiona was the surprise the production team had hidden all afternoon? I truly wanted to thank the director's ancestors for 18 generations. She paused, looked at Liam, smiled brightly, and said, "Brother Liam, it's been a long time. In the upcoming journey, I'll be taking on the role of host." Fiona's first 5 films were all opposite Liam. They portrayed the main couple, lovers caught in a web of love and hatred due to family feuds and national grievances. That movie was a huge hit, generating a large fan base who shipped them, wishing the 2 actors would become a real couple. At that time, I went to the set to visit Liam, and unexpectedly, fans captured a photo of him in heavy costume and wig kneeling to tie my shoelaces. I was just an internet actress who primarily filmed short videos. Before the news of my marriage to Liam broke, countless people online had edited me out of photos with him. The shipping fans pitied Liam and regretted for Fiona. And so, they unleashed all their hatred on me. Coincidentally, in that movie, there was a scene where the villainous female supporting character repeatedly tried to break up the main couple and was eventually hit by a car. Those people then superimposed my face onto the villainess's scenes, creating all sorts of repulsive and bloody videos. I filed a lawsuit against them, but instead, I was scolded for trying to piggyback on their fame in vain. When Liam showed his support for me on social media, the shipping fans claimed he was forced by me. The production team inviting Fiona to appear now was undoubtedly aimed at attracting attention and creating dramatic situations. Everyone present here was shrewd and experienced. Whatever their inner thoughts, their eyes and gestures always showed welcome. I was the only exception. I subtly turned my head to gauge Liam's expression. If he looked happy to see Fiona, I would immediately propose ending our marriage. Moreover, over the past few years, all his earnings from filming and advertising fees had been transferred to my account, leaving him no way to disperse assets. I wouldn't accept being at a disadvantage both emotionally and materially. "What's wrong?" Liam didn't even glance at Fiona, but gently touched the bird peck mark on my head from the afternoon. When he saw me wince in pain, a subtle smile played on his lips. "Aren't you hurt? Let's go, I'll put some medicine on it for you in the room." Realizing her greeting had been ignored, whether intentionally or not, Fiona suddenly became awkward, forcing out a polite smile and softly calling, "Brother Liam." Liam turned to look at her, his expression still indifferent. "You're here." Just a few short words, yet the shipping fan community erupted in the comments section as if they were going crazy. "Oh my God, how heartbreaking does that sound?" As if he has 1,000 words to express, but can only avoid her gaze and utter a curt, "You're here." Diana is just an internet celebrity. Her looks are ordinary, how can she compare to Fiona? She looks at him with eyes full of regret for meeting him too late, and he looks at her as if he loves her but dares not express it. User above, stop talking nonsense. No matter how unpopular Diana is, she is still Liam's wife and protected by our country's law. Fiona looked very satisfied, turned to me and smiled. "Diana is hurt. Go quickly and put some medicine on it, we still have another activity tonight." I completely ignored her and automatically walked upstairs. Diana really has no manners, not even bothering to act for the cameras. Fiona is eyeing her husband. Why should she smile and welcome her? User above said really unpleasant things. What, eyeing her husband? Fiona just asked a simple question. Is your mind always filled with women fighting over men? As soon as I entered the room, I took out my phone. Chloe, my best friend, sent a message of encouragement. "Good girl, don't be sad. I'm replying to every negative comment for you." I sighed. I guess Liam and I are really about to break up, girl. Because of Fiona. No, maybe some things didn't turn out as I imagined. As soon as I sent the message, Liam unexpectedly pushed open the door and entered the room. I quickly put down my phone and said, "I'm going to take a shower." He nodded softly. "I've prepared the ointment. I'll put it on after you shower." Unexpectedly, after showering, I realized I hadn't brought clean clothes to change into. I had no choice but to wrap myself in a bath towel, just enough to cover the essentials, and walk out. Liam was standing by the table. Hearing the door open, he turned around. Seeing his ears slowly turn red, I awkwardly said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring clean clothes." Liam remained silent. After a moment, he gently said, "Don't be so polite. I'll go out for a bit so you can change." Liam quietly looked at me, then pursed his lips and nodded, then turned and walked out. As he turned away, he seemed displeased. Suddenly, I remembered what the shipping fans had said and Fiona's recent appearance. Was this the pain of unfulfilled love, the regret of meeting too late? After dinner, everyone gathered in the large living room of the villa, sipping beer and chatting. As the host of the conversation, Fiona skillfully steered the topic towards happy memories from filming. With the enthusiastic responses from Sophia and Arthur, everyone eagerly participated, each telling a story, making the atmosphere quickly become exciting and lively. Except for me. Having never been to a film set or experienced acting, I just leaned against Liam, sipping beer and playing with his fingers. He gently lowered his head and whispered, "Drink less or you'll get drunk." As soon as he finished speaking, I deliberately took several large gulps and glanced at him triumphantly. Liam just smiled resignedly. Everyone then started talking about filming kissing scenes. Fiona's cheeks suddenly flushed red, and she whispered softly, "I've never had a boyfriend before, so the first time I filmed a kissing scene, I was terribly embarrassed. We had to shoot it many times." Perhaps the fake kiss wasn't convincing enough, so they had to do a real kiss in the end. Everyone knew her debut film was with Liam. Without even checking, I knew that the shipping fan community was celebrating wildly in the comments section. I subtly curved my lips, thinking about the rare intimate moments between Liam and me. They were so few they could probably be counted on one hand. We had been married for 5 years, but the number of times he kissed my lips was probably even less than the times he kissed Fiona while in character. A sudden uncomfortable feeling swept over me, making me leave his embrace, stand up, and move to sit next to Nina. The shipping fans in the comments section gloated, as if they had just completed an act of revenge. "Oh my God, that Diana looks green with envy. What can she do? If she's not happy, why doesn't she try acting herself?" Laughing so hard. Her face is like a wax figure, utterly mediocre, only fit for dance clubs. Fiona noticed her wish had come true, her face clearly showing satisfaction. I couldn't do anything to her, so I just kept drinking glass after glass of beer. Liam casually said, "At first, filming kissing scenes feels awkward, but after a few more takes, you get used to it. It's just work." Nina glanced over with a cold look, then suddenly asked, "Liam and Diana have been married for a long time. They must have been each other's first love, right?" Liam turned to look at me. I rolled my eyes and stuck out my tongue, teasing him. "HMPH, what are you looking at?" Then he suddenly stood up straight and said, "Excuse me, Diana is drunk. I'll take her upstairs first." He firmly helped me up and embraced me. I retorted angrily, "What are you talking about? Who's drunk? I still want a drink." My next words were cut short because he suddenly lowered his head and kissed me. The comments section immediately erupted. "Oh my God, that Diana is clearly doing this on purpose. It's infuriating. I feel so bad for Fiona. I must be delirious with fever. I can't believe I find this kiss romantic. Why am I so drawn to it?" Liam must be worried Diana would blurt out something inappropriate, so he did that. Liam brushed the camera aside, gently carried me upstairs, placed me safely on the bed, and carefully tucked me in. I was completely drunk, my consciousness hazy. My hand caressed his face. "You're so handsome. You look exactly like my first love." My alcohol tolerance was terrible, and my ability to discern the taste of alcohol was no better. I had always been terribly bad at it. Back then, after breaking up with my ex, I was very depressed, got drunk, and made a scene. And that was the first time I met Liam. On that day, coincidentally, he was working a part-time shift at a bar. I playfully stroked his face and said, "Handsome guy, if you kiss me, I'll open a bottle of wine to boost your sales right away." He just looked at me indifferently, aloof, and didn't say a word. Realizing the contempt in that gaze, I was furious, immediately pulled out my card and asked, "Not satisfied, or are you afraid I can't afford it?" Later, he indeed fell into destitution and agreed to sell himself to me for 50,000 yuan. Our marriage began in the most humiliating way for Liam. With such a beginning, how could he develop feelings for me? The next morning, when I woke up, I found myself still in bed. The blanket on the sofa was neatly folded. Liam had probably slept there last night. I hugged the blanket, dazed for a long time, then sent a message to my lawyer asking him to prepare a divorce agreement. Today, the show organized a self-serve barbecue party right by the beach. While setting up the grill, Liam asked me, "Are you still dizzy?" I looked at him and shook my head. He said, "You rest. I'll take care of grilling the food for you." As he busily moved back and forth in front of the grill, Fiona approached him and started a conversation. I don't know what they talked about, but she smiled brightly like a blooming flower. If it were my old self, I would definitely have intervened. But now, perhaps I would let it go. I quietly lowered my eyes and replied to Chloe's message. I typed, "He really doesn't have any feelings for me." As I sat under a sun umbrella, nibbling on a chicken wing, I suddenly saw Nina approach. She turned her back to the camera, speaking softly enough not to be picked up by the audio. Fiona and Liam went back to the villa together. I suddenly froze. The barbecue area on the beach wasn't far from the villa, less than a 10-minute walk. As soon as I entered the courtyard, I saw Liam and Fiona facing each other in the gazebo, partially obscured by flower bushes, not too far from my position. I didn't know what they had been talking about, but suddenly, Fiona's eyes were red-rimmed. I slowly walked closer, just in time to hear her say, "So, how long do I have to wait until you decide to divorce her?" In that moment, my mind went completely blank. It took a long time before I heard Liam's cold, emotionless voice. He firmly replied, "I will not divorce." Fiona sneered, "Actually, I already know about the prenuptial agreement she forced you to sign. Don't worry, these coercive clauses are legally invalid. Even if she sues, the initiative is still yours." "That's not the reason." "Then why?" Liam looked at her, his voice even colder. "My family's private matters have nothing to do with you." Fiona immediately burst into tears. "Why, Liam? I clearly knew you before her, and I even confessed my feelings to you before her. I've worked tirelessly, just hoping to stand by your side. Next month, when the Jinx U Awards are announced, I'm sure to be the most prominent young talent. Diana is just an ordinary internet celebrity, with no connections and no potential, only hindering your path. Do you know how many fans have stopped supporting you because of her?" Liam lost his patience and turned to leave. As soon as he stepped out of the gazebo, he came face to face with me, who was hiding behind the flower bushes. I still had a half-eaten chicken wing in my hand. After the initial awkwardness of being caught eavesdropping, I suddenly felt incredibly embarrassed. So, I clutched the chicken wing, turned, and ran. As soon as I entered the house, Liam caught up. "Diana," I looked up at him and said truthfully, "you don't have to endure so much." "Endure what?" "If you have feelings for Fiona, just express them openly." "I don't have feelings for Fiona. Anyway, you'll be free soon enough." As soon as I finished speaking, Liam froze like a statue. "What do you mean by that?" At that moment, the lawyer called. I turned on the speakerphone. The lawyer's voice echoed, "Ms. Diana, I have completed the draft divorce agreement and sent it to your email. However, that prenuptial agreement is not legally binding, so asset division may be a bit difficult." "All right," I said, ending the call. The atmosphere became eerily silent. After a long moment, Liam finally spoke. "Are you going to divorce me?" I gently nodded in confirmation. "Why have I not been good enough?" He looked at me in astonishment, and in that fleeting moment, I felt his face was filled with pain. Or has he returned? I was puzzled. "Who are you talking about?" Before Liam could answer, there was a sudden knock on the door. The female assistant sent by the director looked anxious. "Mr. Liam, both you and Ms. Diana haven't been on screen for too long. The audience is starting to complain." Although I was extremely annoyed by the production team's arrangements, I couldn't vent my anger or make things difficult for a powerless young girl. So, I reluctantly returned to the beach with Liam. Fiona had already returned. The red marks around her eyes from crying had been cleverly concealed with foundation and eyeshadow, and with her exquisite acting skills, no traces were visible on camera. Liam stood by the grill, his eyes distant, seemingly lost in his own thoughts. Nina approached me and whispered, "All done," I replied softly, "It's handled." "It's true, like sister, like cousin. Sophia stole someone's husband, and now Fiona is no less." Nina sneered, then stroked my hair and said, "Honestly, I like you very much. Don't mind the nonsense from those online trolls." With that, she walked alone into the clear blue water and began to swim. By 4:00 p.m., we packed up and returned to the villa. On the way back, Liam held my hand tightly. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pull it away. Throughout the afternoon on the beach, I had repeatedly pondered his inexplicable attitude. I suspected he was afraid I would demand too much of his assets. Once we were back in the room with no cameras around, I immediately spoke up. "Regarding asset division, we can review it together. After all, we've been married for 5 years. Feelings may be gone, but obligations still exist." I calculated aloud as I spoke to him. "You see, our total shared assets currently are about 70 to 80% from your efforts. My contribution is negligible. So, how about we divide it 40-60 and the house stays with you? In unwilling silence, I was forced to concede another step. Or, we can divide it equally 50-50, that's fine too. I had imagined countless possible answers from Liam, but I never expected him to suddenly embrace me, then utter in a voice full of anxiety, "All the money belongs to you. Let's not divorce, please." I was completely stunned. It took an extremely long time for me to regain my composure and react. "What?" Through the thin fabric of my dress, I felt the warmth of his hand pressed against my back. "Even if that person comes back, we've been married for 5 years. I may not be as good as him in many aspects, but he left you to go abroad before, which shows he wasn't sincere with you." Liam continued with a bitter voice, "Diana, now I have some fame, and my income is much more stable. I won't let you suffer any more disadvantages." I couldn't help but interrupt him. "What nonsense are you talking about? Who is that person?" "Your first love. My first love is none other than—" My words suddenly stopped mid-sentence. A few scattered memories quickly flashed through my mind. Before meeting Liam, I had an ex-boyfriend, a classmate from high school. In my youth, I was very heavy, 1.7 m tall but weighing 90 kg. I was often the target of teasing from the boys in class. It wasn't until college, after a lot of effort, that I lost weight. Unexpectedly, he sought me out and confessed his love. A female classmate whispered to me that he had made a bet with his friends. Even if I was prettier now, I still carried the insecurities from high school and would easily fall for him. Understanding the situation, I decided to turn the tables, pretending to believe I loved him, then flatly rejected him and humiliated him. He was so ashamed and angry that he cursed at me. "You damn fat pig, I still have a photo of you so fat your uniform ripped in high school." After that, he posted my photo on social media, and thousands of malicious comments ridiculed me. I was forced to report it to the police to resolve the matter, and it was because of that I developed an extreme aversion to males. Coincidentally, when I saw Liam selling alcohol, I made a blunt, teasing remark. Later, I got drunk many times in front of Liam. I wrapped my arms around his face and chuckled. "Handsome, your face looks exactly like my first love." But in reality, I only had one first love. That person was none other than Liam, with his straight back, holding the wine menu, standing in front of me that night. So everything was clear. Now that I understood everything, I feigned a slight cough and slowly asked, "How do you know about that person's existence?" Liam's ears suddenly flushed red. Nevertheless, he honestly replied, "The first time we met, you were very sad because you had just broken up with your boyfriend. Moreover, I once read your phone. Just a few months after we got married, when you were texting Chloe, I read a passage where you wrote that the person in your heart had gone abroad, and there was nothing wrong with finding a replacement." That was just Chloe and I discussing a novel plot. "So, you have feelings for me?" Liam closed his eyes tightly, looking as if he was making a risky all-in decision, but in the end, he nodded. Even though he had feelings for me, he thought I only saw him as someone else's shadow. He was afraid that if he told the truth, we wouldn't even maintain the facade of husband and wife. Thinking back, Liam had always treated me extremely kindly. When life was at its hardest, we rented a room with no heating system. That time coincided with the coldest winter in 10 years. Because I had just gone through an unhealthy weight loss process, my body was very weak. Even with blankets, my limbs were still freezing. Liam would often put my feet against his chest, warming them until I felt comfortable. After a few months of running a stall at the night market, he was noticed by a talent agency and began his career in the entertainment industry. When he was not yet famous, his life was still very difficult. Just as short video trends became popular, I had the idea of producing videos myself to earn income, which required buying equipment and renting locations. So, he gave me all the money he had saved at that time. Whenever he was home, he took meticulous care of me. Therefore, even when wearing stage costumes and a wig, when he noticed my high heel was loose, his first reflex was to kneel down and tie my shoe. At that time, a fan took a picture of him on set, and he quickly posted it on Weibo, publicly announcing that we were husband and wife. At that time, many fans expressed their inability to accept it, even editing photos of my memorial altar. Liam immediately sued the most extremist and radical individuals. This caused quite a few fans to withdraw their support for him. His management company asked him to hand over his Weibo account access to the company. When interviewed, he casually stated that he and Fiona were only working partners on a single project. The shipping fan clubs ignored this, actively trying to pair them up. If there was really nothing, he wouldn't need to rush to explain. Avoiding all speculation like that is true love. The most recent couple also said something similar and then officially announced their relationship. Under the media's spotlight, everything became exaggerated. After that, he accepted the invitation to participate in this variety show. Looking back at that time, perhaps he wanted to quell the baseless rumors from those overly enthusiastic fans. He was so kind, why did I mistakenly believe he had no feelings for me? After lingering in memories for a while, I suddenly realized there were no intimate gestures between us. He even had more kissing scenes with Fiona than he kissed me. This isn't kissing, it's a job requirement. Liam looked at me with deep eyes and affirmed, "In fact, I've kissed you many times, especially when you're sound asleep." I cleared my throat a few times, trying to appear indifferent, but we've never had a real marital life, except for the night we officially registered our marriage. In the dazzling light, I watched Liam opposite me, seeing his Adam's apple bob a few times before he suddenly turned his face away. "That's because you once criticized my poor skills, saying I hurt you, and you even said you hated me." A seemingly faded memory segment reappeared, the evening exactly 5 years ago. Both of us then lacked experience and knowledge, so everything was quite awkward and difficult. And as a result, he had to endure my reproaches. It wasn't until past midnight, after much effort, that I felt a little pleasure. That was the only intimate touch between Liam and me throughout our 5 years of living together. Liam asked me softly, "Do you still intend to divorce me?" I didn't answer. The thought of ending the marriage wasn't a new one that had just emerged. The time Liam sued an ardent fan, his manager directly met with me and frankly stated that I would negatively impact his career path. "Ms. Diana, you actually know very well that there is no love between you and Liam, only a bond of responsibility. However, whether there are feelings or not, that doesn't change the hatred his fans have for you." No normal person could endure the intense scrutiny of camera lenses. I can never forget that terrifying moment when the video of Liam kneeling to tie my shoelaces went viral on social media. As soon as I opened my private inbox, the entire screen was filled with abusive words. "Bitch, bitch, bitch, die, die, die," followed by gruesome, blood-splattered photos of my memorial altar. I was so scared that I threw my phone away and cried incessantly. That day, Liam had to go filming, so I stayed at Chloe's house to avoid it for a night. He couldn't control the words of others, nor could he stop those radical fans from unreasonably spreading hatred towards me. Liam saw my silence and said sadly, "You go rest." The next morning, I suddenly remembered this and asked Liam why Fiona claimed to have known him before. He was silent for a moment, then replied, "I was her high school classmate. In high school, she once sent me a letter expressing her feelings, but I refused." After we finished our personal hygiene and went downstairs, the production team handed out new mission cards. The audience-voted mission was to sell goods at the night market. The couple with the highest total sales in 6 hours of activity would receive a reward. On online forums, lively comments appeared. "Oh my God, there's good drama to watch. Isn't Liam trying to build a good image for his wife? Let's see how she performs this time." This was clearly a setup by the production team to create dramatic tension. Liam and I were assigned to a stall selling odon and takoyaki. Warm yellow lights shone, blending with the fragrant aroma of skewers from the opposite stall. A feeling of being transported back 5 years ago filled me. Out of habit, I loudly called out, "Hot seafood fish cakes, freshly made, premium ingredients, always fresh daily." At that time, it wasn't fully dark yet, and the number of night market visitors was still quite low. I quickly took a few pieces of white radish and stuffed tofu into a bowl, then leaned against the cart and began to enjoy them. "Diana looks so delicious eating. I want to eat it too just by watching on screen." "Look, someone's here." A young couple stopped at our stall to ask for prices. Without hesitation, I rattled off the prices immediately. Tofu fish cakes 3 yuan, beef balls 4 yuan, fish balls 2 yuan, konjac and tofu skin 1.5 yuan each, radish 1 yuan. The girl took a few skewers. I put them in a bowl for her, scooped some broth, then pointed to the QR code and said, "Total 17 yuan. Just scan the code to pay." Nina, who was clumsily making cold mochi next to me, looked at me with an astonished, wide-open mouth. "You actually have experience selling street food?" I just nodded slightly in confirmation. Not only that, but the Odin broth recipe at that time, I had to experiment with it hundreds of times to find perfection. Night slowly deepened, and the night market became bustling with customers. Many people recognized us, causing long lines to form in front of each couple's stalls. Nina's couple and another couple managed well. Meanwhile, Sophia's fruit stall became chaotic. Even with Fiona's help, only my stall and Liam's operated smoothly and efficiently. While I served Odin, he took care of preparing takoyaki. Everyone was surprised to see Liam remember each customer's preferences so clearly. Even with so many customers buying various skewers at different prices, she calculates extremely quickly without any errors. Just one look and you can see the skillful operation. This cannot be faked. Only real-world experience in selling can bring such skills. They exchanged affectionate glances under the lights. How sweet. Suddenly, a long-haired woman wearing a mask pushed through the crowd and bought a beef skewer, but after just one bite, she quickly spat it out onto the ground. She loudly exclaimed, "This beef ball is spoiled. What kind of strange business is this? You're a scammer?" All the customers there were stunned. The beef ball, just discarded, rolled 2 times on the dusty ground. Her eyes, filled with mockery and malice, were directed at me. I subtly lowered my gaze. Without a word, I bent down to pick up the beef ball, blanched it in boiling water to remove all the dirt, then put it into my mouth, chewed, and swallowed. I affirmed, "This is not spoiled at all. I sell what I myself can eat, friend." With a calm demeanor, I frankly told her, "We always welcome customers to experience our food, but those with intentions to cause trouble are not welcome." The woman's mouth hung open, speechless. She finally glanced towards Sophia's stall for help. On online forums, the debate raged. "She's looking towards Fiona. Did Fiona hire someone to disrupt them?" Anti-fans above, don't jump to conclusions so quickly. Just one glance and you're already blaming someone else. I think Diana is just putting on a show herself. With my experience in the industry, I find Diana's way of dealing with this extremely decisive and effective. She must have a lot of practical experience in this field. Oh my God, when she picked that thing up from the ground and ate it, Liam's face looked like his heart was breaking. From this moment on, I pledged to be a fan of Ms. Diana. And me too. After 6 continuous hours of business, night had fallen. Standing for 6 hours straight to sell goods, bustling around like a shuttle. By the end, even Nina, who had the best physical stamina, was so exhausted she couldn't stand. Only Liam and I remained stable. We were sure to hold the leading position. Our reward was to travel by sports car the next day, while others had to use electric bicycles. Due to extreme fatigue, as soon as I returned to the room, I lay down and fell into a deep sleep. It wasn't until the next morning, when I got out of bed, that I realized Liam had done something significant and quietly the night before without telling me. He had publicly announced his decision to leave this entertainment program. The remuneration and compensation for contract cancellation had been returned to the production side. Please stop dragging my wife into these meaningless and messy affairs. This dominated the hot search rankings. Fans who focused on his career, often called career fans, were extremely worried. "Brother, have you thought this through carefully? What will be the consequences if you offend the director and investors?" Liam replied to that comment, "What if my wife no longer needs me?" Because of his sudden decision, the show's filming had to be temporarily postponed. I couldn't locate my phone. Fortunately, thanks to Nina's retelling, I learned about what Liam had done. "Where is he now?" Nina replied. "He's currently in negotiations with the production team. His manager is also present. He told me to tell you not to worry and not to look for your phone. He'll temporarily manage your account." As I walked down the stairs, coincidentally, I saw Fiona in the living room on the ground floor. Lacking the presence of cameras or live lenses, she immediately dropped her acting facade, replaced by eyes full of contempt and hostility directed at me. "Diana, who do you think you are to obstruct his progress and hinder Liam's career? Do you realize how many obstacles this contract breach will create for his career later on? Even just being his wife is enough to affect him." I turned to Nina and questioned, "Did you hear that sound of a dog barking?" Ms. Fiona angrily shouted. Just as the conversation was happening, Liam returned. His face clearly showed fatigue and exhaustion, but the moment he saw me, his eyes suddenly lit up, shining like stars. He thanked Nina, then took me to meet his manager, Amy. She was an extremely experienced lady, evident in both her clothing style and demeanor. She had been in the glamorous and lucrative entertainment industry for many years, and now she observed me with sharp, scrutinizing eyes. Liam, among all the self-taught artists I've mentored, you possess the most outstanding talent. Are you sure you want to give up such a bright future? If my future has to be bought at the cost of my loved one's honor, wouldn't that be utterly shameful? Liam continued coldly. When the Jinxiu Awards results are announced, the company should also fulfill its commitments. Amy patiently looked at me for a moment, then stood up and declared, "Rest assured, we will clarify all rumors about Diana and hold a press conference as soon as possible. But what if your abilities don't bring significant enough benefits to the company?" "Then she won't be involved at all," Liam replied calmly. "I will take full responsibility for all consequences." After Amy left, only the two of us remained in the room. Liam shared that more than half a month before he agreed to participate in this reality show, he had a clear agreement with his management company. According to it, if he won the Best Actor award at the Jinxiu Awards this time, the management company would be responsible for handling the negative opinions directed at me. He said before they refused to deal with it, even stopping me many times because they thought your bad reputation could help me become more famous and... He paused for a moment. I completely understood his meaning. In addition, they also thought we would divorce sooner or later, right? Liam's hand, which was clutching mine, suddenly tightened. That's not true. I said this as if reassuring himself and at the same time trying to convince me. We won't break up. All that day, Liam kept my phone and didn't return it to me. However, that evening, Nina told me that many online users had posted pictures of my injuries along with false rumors, and they had received lawyers' letters. Liam had posted a lengthy message on his personal Weibo account. Nina gave me her phone to see it. When we first got married, we faced many financial difficulties. She suggested selling goods at a small stall to earn money, hoping to save enough to buy our own house. The t-shirts were all designed by her, and the price and flavor of the Odin were also the result of her own research. At first, the Odin broth was only passable and didn't sell well, so she spent all evening in the kitchen constantly adjusting the recipe and comparing different flavors. When the number of customers began to increase, she faced competition and troubles from rivals in the same industry. When they caused trouble, I had to stay late at the company working overtime. It wasn't until I got home that the nearby rice seller told me that after loudly confronting those people, she picked up the food that was claimed to be spoiled and ate it, to prove that our goods were completely fine. Old memories suddenly vividly appeared in my mind. I replayed that evening when I came home with red eyes, and Liam immediately hugged me tightly. His whole body trembled, and then he softly whispered 2 words into my ear. "I'm sorry." Not long after, he told me that an entertainment company had chosen him, and he was about to become an actor. The truth was, it wasn't a talent scout who found him, but he himself who sent his photo portfolio to countless companies and struggled greatly to find a place that would accept him for an audition. Initially, all I wanted was for her to be by my side without having to endure any hardships. But after all these years, on a reality TV show, she had to pick up food thrown on the ground and eat it just because others deliberately made things difficult for her. This Weibo post was accompanied by 2 photos. The pictures were very touching. Just by looking, one could tell they were taken many years ago. One of them was an image of me lying prone under a light, drawing on a t-shirt. The other captured me standing in front of the Odin stall, watching a long line of customers, my eyes radiating undisguised happiness. Thanks to this Weibo post, along with my performance on the entertainment show, a management company proactively guided public opinion. My image on social media platforms quickly improved in a positive direction. I don't know why, when I saw Diana lying prone drawing t-shirts there, I unexpectedly burst into tears. If it's not true love, you can't do things like that. She is a bit stubborn when with Liam, but considering what she's been through, does she have the right to be? How could Liam be subservient to her? Clearly, both of them have deep love for each other and are willing to sacrifice for the other. Suddenly remembered Liam said the other day, what if my wife no longer needs me? Did Diana propose divorce? Liam didn't reply to any other comments except for liking the comment about divorce. After a long wait, Liam finally called me back. As soon as I opened the Weibo app, I was extremely surprised to see tens of thousands of comments in the comments section. All of them begged me to give him another chance. Diana, Liam truly has deep feelings for you. Please don't leave him. Don't let him be alone in this whirlpool of fame and fortune. I turned my head to look at Liam and asked, did you arrange this? Because you were the one who proactively wanted a divorce first. Liam showed no sign of embarrassment. Currently, everyone is trying to help me figure out how to win back your heart. Immediately, the show's production IP stepped in to explain, announcing that Liam and I would continue filming. The number of online viewers soared many times higher than before. Everyone was watching to see how Liam would win back his wife. The next morning, Liam and I went down to the dining room for breakfast together. I sat upright, my eyes looking straight ahead. Liam gently asked me, "Are you eating enough? Do you want to try the fried eggs I made?" I replied politely, "I don't need any." As we left, he opened the car door for me, and I turned and said, "Thank you." At the mall, I tried on a dress, then handed my card to the sales assistant before Liam could, and said, "Just swipe my card. It'll be troublesome to divide assets later." The online comments section continuously displayed, "Diana is too distant. Liam must be heartbroken. Why call it serving? Liam seems happy to do things like tie her shoes or carry her bag." Only I noticed Diana talking about asset division. Does she really want a divorce, or is she afraid it'll be hard to divide assets? Actually, Diana is also very dedicated to worrying about and supporting Liam, isn't she? Before, she was heavily criticized, but she didn't explain a word. Perhaps she was worried people would say Liam relies on women. Relies on what? They both have feelings for each other and are willing to sacrifice for the other. That is true love. Liam and Diana are truly a wonderful couple. In the dazzling light, Liam's disappointed face was clearly reflected in the mirror. He looked like an abandoned puppy. I could only secretly marvel at his acting talent. He's not acting at all. That evening, when there were no cameras, Liam affirmed, "That day when you told me you had completed the divorce agreement, I felt exactly like that." 2/3 of the show's filming was complete. Fiona, who was originally invited to create drama, now had no more scenes. She had nothing else to do but quietly follow Sophia and Arthur. Her face still showed extreme displeasure. After Liam ended his long Weibo post with a paragraph hinting at others causing obstruction, along with the subconscious gaze of the long-haired girl who caused trouble looking at her, many online users thought it was an intentional act to demean me. However, a few of the shipping fans, in their frenzy, stubbornly insisted that Liam and that girl truly had genuine feelings, constantly commenting to attract attention. That same afternoon, according to the director's arrangements, the two couples were assigned separately to participate in a clue-hunting game on the mountain. I actively chose Nina as my teammate. Liam would take a few steps, then look back at me, but Nina, the lovely but strong woman, pushed him back. Nina teased, "Brother Liam, stop looking. We're only separating for 2 hours to complete a task, not parting forever." The comments section was filled with delighted laughter. One commenter said Liam looked like he was about to turn into a faithful wife's rock. Another suggested Diana probably just wanted to be with Nina quickly. Another comment suddenly recalled the saying, "When a woman is still clinging, it means she still loves. But when she becomes rational and no longer cares about you, that's a sign of the end." A reader exclaimed, "I can't believe Diana is also really beautiful." That same evening, the topic of Liam and me on the super topic was among the top 3 most discussed keywords. An account posted an article titled 10 Characteristics That Show Diana and Liam Are a Perfect Match, and Liam left a compliment in the comments section. He wrote, "Completely accurate." Indeed, it was true. I didn't care about those things. I only posted a photo of us with Nina under the brilliant sunset on the mountaintop. However, the comment with the most likes was, "Ms. Diana, your shoe is untied. Let brother Liam kneel and tie your shoelaces for you." On the last day of filming, While everyone was still debating whether Liam could successfully rekindle his romance with his wife, a blogger unexpectedly posted information. This person wrote, "How ridiculous. Do you think Liam isn't divorcing because he still loves Diana? In reality, they signed a prenuptial agreement. If they divorce, Liam will lose everything. In this entertainment industry, there's no such thing as true love. Everything revolves around money." Immediately, under the arrangement of the management company, an emergency press conference was held. Standing before the public, Liam firmly stated that no prenuptial agreement existed. Something like a prenuptial agreement resulting in leaving empty-handed? What a wild imagination. He subtly curved his lips, but his eyes held no trace of a smile. Such unreasonable clauses, even if signed, have no legal effect. We have already collected authentic evidence against that Weibo account holder and will quickly file a lawsuit. Although reporters asked a few more questions, Liam replied clearly. Perhaps realizing they couldn't extract more information from him, they directed the microphone towards me. Recently, Ms. Diana's reputation on social media has been improving. Is this a sign that you are about to enter the entertainment industry? Startled, I quickly waved my hand. Please don't talk nonsense. I'm just an internet celebrity. I know my own capabilities. With my immature acting skills, short videos are fine, but if I were to act in films, it would only annoy the audience. Immediately after the live broadcast of the press conference, my name instantly became the most searched hot keyword. Oh my God, Ms. Diana is so straightforward. I like her more and more. I wonder when some people in the entertainment industry will have the self-awareness that Ms. Diana has. Please stop making terrible movies. It's an eyesore. Honestly, I've watched all of Ms. Diana's short videos, and I find her acting much more natural than many famous actresses. Actually, if the couple starred in a light romantic film together, how wonderful would that be? Completely agree with the comment above. I really want to see it. Amidst the intense online debates, the Jinxiu Awards ceremony officially took place. Liam and I attended the event together. He adamantly requested his stylist to style me, ensuring I had dazzling makeup and renting a magnificent evening gown for me to wear. Even on the red carpet, he carefully lifted the hem of my dress for me. When the awards were announced, he deservedly received the Best Actor award. As expected, Fiona was honored as the Best New Actress. They stood together on stage. Under the sparkling reflections of the lights, camera shutters clicked incessantly. I sat in the audience section, looking up at the two of them. In that fleeting moment, I suddenly recognized the compatibility that the shipping fans often mentioned. Liam took the microphone, thanking the entire film crew, the director, and finally me. Throughout his speech, Liam did not mention Fiona, nor did he glance at her even once. Fiona's charming, elegant smile gradually faded. Her dress was also crumpled. This was definitely a night that broke the hearts of many shipping fans. At the end of the ceremony, he and I left together. The high heels I rented were half a size too big, and one accidentally slipped off. Without hesitation, Liam approached, picked up the shoe, and knelt by the edge of the red carpet, personally putting it back on my foot. That moment was captured in a photograph and quickly topped the hot search rankings. Brother Liam still has his original sincerity. Someone save me. Only I think Diana looked incredibly radiant tonight. However, Liam has now become the best actor at the Jinxiu Awards. To be fair, Diana is no longer a match for him. Oh right, Fiona is the actress. Fiona is a better match. Too bad Liam didn't even bother to mention her name. Haha. We got into the car. Outside, tiny snowflakes danced across the night sky. Liam wrapped his velvet coat tightly around me, then took my cold hand and asked, "Why are you unhappy again?" I sighed and replied, "It's not that I'm unhappy, I just find everything so confusing. Just a month ago, they hated me to the core. I just ate ice cream and was scolded in hundreds of comments. But now everyone is praising and flattering me." I reached out my hand to catch a snowflake, watching it slowly melt in my palm. To be honest, I still don't understand. What exactly do you like about me? Liam was silent for a moment, thinking. Honestly, at first I felt both indebted to you and annoyed. The 50,000 yuan, plus your marriage proposal, made me think it was just a rich girl's prank. Before meeting me, someone had offered to be Liam's sugar daddy for 1 million yuan, but he didn't accept. His agreement with me was because he was truly desperate at that time, with no way out. One day, your family called. You were drunk at the time and told me many things. You said that you used to live with your grandmother in the countryside until she passed away when you were 18, then you found out your family was very wealthy. Your parents took your younger brother to settle abroad and only left you a card containing exactly 100,000 yuan. That day, I was so drunk that I couldn't remember anything I said the next morning. However, Liam remembered everything. Clearly, we both belonged to the same world. He squeezed my hand and gently kissed my forehead. At that time, I thought it was okay even if I was just a replacement for your first love. Anyway, he had already left you, and you and I are legally married. Basically, his chances of winning were very high. That night, I put Liam's training results to the test, so exhausted that I couldn't stand straight. After I fell asleep, Liam replied to the comments that said he was a talented actor and I was not worthy of him. The Jinxiu Awards have been given 46 times, and there are 47 excellent male actors. I am just one of them. But even if the world is vast, there is only one Diana.